Have you ever had that unsettling feeling that someone was lying to you, but you couldn't quite explain why? It's that moment when everything on the surface seems normal, but deep down, you know something's off. Maybe it was a friend who gave you a vague excuse, or a colleague whose story didn't quite add up. We've all been there, wondering if our instincts are right or if we're overthinking. But what if there was a way to see through those lies with clarity? Today, we're diving deep into exactly that, using ancient wisdom to help you navigate modern-day deception. Throughout history, people have always grappled with lies and deceit. And guess what? The Stoic philosophers, who lived more than 2,000 years ago, faced the same challenges. They developed insights into human nature that are just as useful today as they were back then. The Stoics believed in living with integrity, cutting through the noise, and staying clear-headed even when others were trying to deceive them. They didn't have to deal with social media, texts, or emails like we do, but human behavior hasn't changed that much. Lies, deception, and manipulation were just as common then as they are now. In this video, we're going to uncover the 7 signs someone is lying to you, and we'll look at these signs through both a modern lens and the teachings of Stoicism. By the end of this video, you'll have practical tools to help you spot the subtle clues people give off when they're being dishonest. And this isn't just about calling out lies for the sake of it. It's about protecting yourself, building stronger relationships, and living a life rooted in truth, just as the Stoics would advise. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like someone was lying, but you couldn't explain why? Their words seemed convincing, but something about their body language or tone made you uneasy. What if I told you that there are key behaviors and subtle cues that liars can't hide, no matter how good they think they are at deception? These signs often go unnoticed because we're so focused on what's being said. But the truth is, it's often revealed in what isn't said. Imagine having the power to confidently read between the lines, to spot when someone is not being entirely honest, even when they believe they've fooled you. By the end of this video, you'll have 7 clear signs to help you detect a lie. These aren't just random guesses. They're based on both ancient Stoic philosophy and modern psychological research. Being able to spot a lie isn't just about avoiding deceit. It's about protecting your peace of mind and gaining control in your relationships. When you can spot deception, you become more aware of who's being genuine with you, and you start to attract more authentic connections in your life. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, believed that understanding human behavior and remaining calm in the face of deceit was key to living a virtuous life. So, whether you want to navigate tough conversations at work, strengthen your friendships, or sharpen your social awareness, these 7 signs will give you the tools to see the truth more clearly. Stick around, because what you learn today will help you not only detect lies, but also live a more authentic, fulfilling life, just as the Stoics intended. Now, let's dive into the 7 signs someone is lying to you. Number 1. Inconsistent stories. One of the most significant indicators of a lie is inconsistent stories. When someone is lying, they may have difficulty keeping their narrative straight. This is particularly true if they are asked to recount the same event multiple times. For example, if a friend claims they were out late on a specific night, but their story shifts in subsequent conversations. Perhaps they initially said they were at a concert but later mentioned they were at a party. These inconsistencies can be telling. Liars may forget details or mix up their accounts, leading to contradictions. To assess the reliability of someone's story, consider asking follow-up questions or discussing the event in detail later. If their story continues to change or doesn't align with what you previously heard, it's a strong sign of deception. The brain has a hard time fabricating intricate stories, and this struggle often leads to inconsistencies that reveal the truth. Number 2. Body language. Body language is another crucial factor in determining honesty. When someone lies, their nonverbal cues can often contradict their words. For instance, a liar may exhibit nervous habits such as fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, or crossing their arms. These behaviors can indicate discomfort and a lack of confidence in their statements. When assessing body language, look for signs of stress or anxiety. If a person shifts in their seat, plays with their hair, or has a tense posture, it might suggest they are not being truthful. Additionally, liars may avoid direct eye contact or look away while speaking, indicating that they are trying to hide something. On the other hand, someone who is telling the truth will generally maintain open and relaxed body language, making them more engaging and comfortable during the conversation. Number 3. Too many details. When someone feels the need to provide an excessive amount of details, it can be a red flag for dishonesty. A liar often adds unnecessary specifics to their narrative in an attempt to make their story sound more convincing. They might elaborate on what they were wearing, who else was present, or what time specific events occurred, even when those details are irrelevant to the main point. In contrast, a person telling the truth typically presents a straightforward account. They share essential facts without feeling the need to embellish or over-explain. If you notice that someone is going into great detail about their story, especially when those details seem unnecessary, it's worth questioning their credibility. A lack of simplicity in a story can indicate that the person is trying to create a facade of honesty. Number 4. Defensive reactions. Defensive reactions can also signal that someone may be lying. When you ask a straightforward question and the person responds with hostility, defensiveness, or irritation, it often indicates that they are hiding something. A truthful person is generally comfortable discussing their experiences and will respond to questions calmly and openly. For example, if you inquire about where someone was last weekend and they react by accusing you of being overly suspicious or intrusive, it could suggest that they have something to hide. In such cases, pay attention to their tone and demeanor. A defensive attitude can reveal an underlying sense of guilt or dishonesty. The Stoics teach us to remain composed in our responses. So if someone's reaction is disproportionate, consider it a potential sign of deceit. Number 5. Changes in voice or tone. Changes in voice or tone are often indicators of deception. When someone is lying, they may exhibit noticeable shifts in their vocal patterns. For instance, their pitch may rise, or they may speak more quickly or slowly than usual. A liar might also sound more hesitant or stumble over their words as they struggle to maintain their fabricated story. Listening carefully to how someone speaks can provide valuable insights into their honesty. If you detect a change in tone, particularly in a context where they should feel confident, it might signal that they are not being truthful. Additionally, an overly enthusiastic tone or forced laughter may also indicate that the person is trying to convince you of their lie rather than expressing genuine emotions. Number 6. Evasion. Evasion is another common sign of dishonesty. If someone frequently dodges direct questions or attempts to change the subject, it can indicate that they are not being truthful. A person who is confident in their honesty will typically answer questions straightforwardly and without hesitation. For instance, if you ask a colleague about a project deadline and they start discussing unrelated topics instead, it might suggest they are uncomfortable with the question. Evasive behavior can take many forms, such as providing vague responses, giving half-hearted explanations, or continuously redirecting the conversation. Being aware of these tactics can help you discern when someone is trying to hide the truth. Number 7. Gut instinct. Finally, trust your gut instinct. Often, despite the words someone is saying, you might feel deep down that something isn't right. Our intuition can be a powerful tool in detecting dishonesty, often picking up on subtle cues that our conscious mind might overlook. If you have a nagging feeling that someone isn't being truthful, take a moment to reflect on why you might feel that way. Your instincts are formed by a combination of past experiences and subconscious observations. If you've encountered dishonesty before, your brain may subconsciously recognize similar patterns in others' behavior. Don't dismiss these feelings. Instead, use them as a prompt to investigate further. You might not have concrete evidence yet, but your intuition can guide you toward the truth. Recognizing these 7 signs of deception: inconsistent stories, body language, excessive details, defensive reactions, changes in voice, evasion, and gut instinct can significantly enhance your ability to navigate interpersonal relationships. By being aware of these indicators, you can better assess the honesty of those around you and protect yourself from potential deceit. Remember, the journey towards understanding others requires a balance of observation and introspection. By honing your ability to discern truth from deception, you can foster healthier connections built on trust and integrity. Stay vigilant and trust in your ability to see through the fog of dishonesty.